The equation of a straight line is in the form y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. To find the equation of a straight line, we need two things. 1, the gradient of the line, and 2, any point on the line or any point the line passes through. So here we want to find the equation of a line with gradient 3 and passes through the point A, which has coordinates -2 and 5. So the first thing I'll do is write the format for the equation of a line, which is y is equal to mx plus c. Now this -2 would be my x, and this 5 would be my y. And this 3 would be my gradient, m. So I'll replace the y with 5. I'll replace the m with 3. I'll replace the x with -2. So I have y, I'm putting 5. We have m, I'm putting 3. And this is mx, so that's m multiplied by x. So that'll be 3 multiplied by -2. So I have 3, open brackets, -2. So that'll mean 3 multiplied by -2 plus c. So now I'll have 5 is equal to 3 by -2 will give you -6. So I have -6 plus c. So now we have c as the only unknown. So I'll be solving for c, which is the y-intercept. So I'll transfer this -6 across the equal sign, and the sign in front of it will change from negative to positive. So I'll have 5 plus 6 is equal to c. So we have c being equal to 11. So now that I know what c is, I'll look at the format for the equation of a straight line, and I'll replace the m with 3 and the c with 11, and that will be my equation of the straight line. So I have the equation of the line is, I have y is equal, and we have m, I'll put 3, x plus c, and c is 11. So as you can see, this will be the format for the equation of a straight line. I write back the y, where the m is, I replace it with the 3. I put back the x, and where the c is, I replace it with 11. So therefore my equation of the straight line would be y is equal to 3x plus 11. Now I'd like to look at another way of working the same question. So instead of using y is equal to mx plus c, I'm going to use another format. And that format is y take away y1 is equal to m multiplied by x take away x1. Now m would still be this 3 here, but for my x1 and my y1, that will be these values here. So the -2 will be x1 and the +5 would be y1. So now I'll substitute these values into this equation. So I'll have y take away y1, and for y1 I'm putting +5 is equal to m, which is my 3 because m is the gradient, multiplied by x take away x1, and x1 is -2. So I'll have the takeaway from the formula, and x1 is -2. So I'll write -2 in brackets like this. So when I multiply these two negative signs, I'll get a positive sign. So I'll have x plus 2. So I'll have y take away 5 is equal to 3 multiplied by x plus 2. So now I'll expand the right hand side. So I'll have y take away 5 is equal to, and 3 by x would give you 3x, and 3 by +2 would give you +6. So what I'll do now is transpose for this y, so I'll get it in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So what I can do is transfer this -5 across the equal sign, and the sign in front of it will change from negative to positive. So I'll have y is equal to 3x plus 6 plus 5. So a +6 and +5 would be like terms, so I'll add the 6 and the 5 and get 11. So I'll have y is equal to 3x plus 11. And this will be my equation of the straight line. So I have the equation of the line is y is equal to 3x plus 11. So in this question, we are given a graph. We are given 2 points, P and Q, and we have a line connecting P and Q. And we are asked to find the equation of the line PQ. So anytime you are asked to find the equation of a line, you need two things, the gradient and any point the line passing through. So I'll need to find the gradient of the line PQ. So first I'll get the coordinates of both P and Q. So for P we have -7 on the X and we have +4 on the Y. So the coordinates of P will be -7 and +4. And then for Q we have 5 on the X and we have -1 on the Y. So that'll be 5 and -1. So the -7 would be X1 and the 4 would be Y1. And the +5 would be X2 and the -1 would be Y2. So the gradient of the line M would be Y2 take away Y1 divided by X2 take away X1. So Y2 take away Y1 would be -1 take away 4. So I'll have M is equal to, and for our numerator we have -1 take away 4 divided by X2 take away X1. So that'll be +5 take away -7. So I'll have +5 take away open brackets -7. So -1 take away 4 will give you -5. We'll multiply these two negative signs and get positive signs. So we have 5 plus 7, which will be 12. So our gradient will be -5 divided by 5 plus 7. So our gradient will be -5 divided by 12. So we'll have a negative gradient, which will be -5/12. And as you can see, the line is sloping downwards. So now that we have the gradient, all we need now is any point the line passing through or any point on the line. And the point P and the point Q is on the line. So we can use either one, either P or Q. So I'll choose to use Q. So I'll be using my gradient as -5/12. And I'll be using the point Q, which will be 5 and -1. So remember, this 5 would be X and this -1 would be Y. So I'll write out the format for the equation of a straight line, which is Y is equal to mx plus c. And we replace the Y with -1, replace the M with -5/12, and replace the X with this 5. So I'll have Y, which is -1, is equal to M, which is -5/12, times X, which is 5, plus C. Now this -5/12 times 5 means -5/12 multiplied by 5/1. So you'll have -1 is equal to -5/12 multiplied by 5/1 plus C. So as you can see here, nothing would cancel. So I'll multiply this 5 by 5 and this 12 by 1. So I have -1 is equal to, and 5 by 5 is 25, and 12 by 1 is 12. And we are multiplying a negative number by a positive number. So our answer would be negative. Now I'll solve for C. So I'll transfer this -25/12 across the equal sign, and the sign in front of it will change from negative to positive. So I'll have -1 plus 25 divided by 12 is equal to C. So now we'll just have to work out this, and it's simple to work out because -1 will just be -12/12. So now that I have the same denominator, I can simply work out the numerator by saying -12 plus 25. And -12 plus 25 would be the same as 25 take away 12. And your answer would be +13. So I'll get +13/12 is equal to C. So for the equation of the straight line, I'll replace the M with this -5/12, and I'll replace the C with this 13/12. So I'll have Y is equal to M, which is -5/12, times X plus C, and C is 13/12. Now I deliberately did not convert this 13/12 to a mixed number. That's because I recognize that the gradient has a denominator of 12 and the y-intercept has a denominator of 12. So what I can do to get rid of these fractions, seeing that they have the same denominator, is to multiply both sides of the equal sign by the same number. And that number would be 12 because I want to get rid of this 12 as the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equal sign by 12. So that'll be 12 multiplied by y is equal to 12 multiplied by negative 5 over 12x plus 13 over 12. So when I multiply 12 by y, I will get 12y. And that'll be equal to, and when I multiply 12 by negative 5 over 12x, that's the same as 12 over 1 multiplied by negative 5x over 12 plus, and then I multiply 12 by 13 over 12, and that'll be 12 over 1 multiplied by 13 over 12. So as you can see, the 12s will cancel off each other. So all I'll remain with here is negative 5x over 1, which is 5x. And all I'll remain with here is 13 over 1, which is 13. So I'll have 12y is equal to negative 5x plus 13. So my equation of the line would be 12y is equal to negative x plus 13. Now the equation of the line could also be written as this y is equal to negative 5 over 12x plus 13 over 12. Now I can convert this 13 over 12 and get 1 and 1 over 12. So my equation of the line would be negative 5 over 12x plus 1 and 1 over 12. So here I have the equation of the line is 12y is equal to negative 5x plus 13, or the equation of the line is, and that would be the y is equal to negative 5 over 12x plus 1 and 1 over 12. So either answer would be correct. So in this question, we want to sketch the graph of y is equal to 2/3 x take away 4. Now we can do that simply by knowing what is the gradient, which is 2/3, and the y-intercept, which is negative 4. So I'll just write out that the gradient m is equal to 2/3 and that the y-intercept is equal to negative 4. Now remember, the 2 would be a change in y, and the 3 and the gradient would be a change in x. So I'll set up my Cartesian plane, and the first thing I'll do is plot my y-intercept, which is negative 4. That's where the line touches the y-axis. So this point down here on the y-axis at negative 4 would be my y-intercept, because c is equal to negative 4, which is your constant on your equation of the straight line once you have y as the subject of the formula. Next, I'll look at the gradient, where a change in y is positive 2. That means 2 upwards. So I'll be counting from the y-intercept, and I'll be going 2 upwards. So that'll be here 1, 2. And then this positive 3 will mean 3 across to the right. So I'll go across 1, 2, 3. So I'll plot this point here. So therefore my line will be passing through these 2 points. So anytime you have to draw the graph of a straight line, all you need is 2 points. So now I'll take a ruler and draw a line connecting the 2 points. And here we have the graph of y is equal to 2/3 x take away 4. So in this question, we're going to sketch the graph of y is equal to negative 2/3 x take away 4. So it's just like this question, the only difference is the gradient is negative. So for my gradient, I'll have negative 2/3. And for my y-intercept, I'll have negative 4. Because this would be m, negative 2/3, and this would be my c, which is negative 4. Now when it comes to the gradient, this negative sign, you could choose to use it on the numerator or use it on the denominator. So here I have my Cartesian plane again, and the first thing I'll put in is my y-intercept, which is negative 4. So here I place my point at negative 4 on the y-axis. Now the difference here would be the gradient. As we know, a positive gradient means the line is sloping upwards, and a negative gradient would mean the line is sloping downwards. Now, because I had positive 2 here and positive 3, now notice I went up 2 because this was positive 2. Now if it was negative 2, I'd have gone 2 downwards. Now the reason I went across to the right 3 is because here was positive 3. If it was negative 3, I'd have gone to the left 3. So that is why I said you could choose to use this negative sign either on the numerator or on the denominator. I'll choose to use it on the numerator. So I'll use this as negative 2. So this negative 2 will be my change in y. So instead of going upwards as when it was positive, because I'm choosing to use this as negative 2, I'll be going downwards. So I'll be coming down 2, 1, 2. So that's 2 downwards. And because I use the negative sign on the numerator, this 3 will be positive. So I'll go to the right 3. So I'll go across 3 to the right, which is 1, 2, 3. So now I have to draw a line connecting these 2 points. So now I'll take my ruler and connect those 2 points. And this will be my graph of y is equal to negative 2/3 x take away 4.